All right, we are now joined by our NASCAR Cup Series pole winner here at Bristol Motor Speedway. That's Alex Bowman, driver of the number 48 Hendrick Motorsports Chevrolet. If you have a question for Alex, please raise your hand. We'll get a mic to you. We'll start with Jacob, and then we'll come here in the middle.
Jacob Seelman, Raceface Digital. Alex, do we have any clue what we're about to experience going into tomorrow, or are you and us all as clueless as we were going into last spring?
I think all signs point to a race like the spring. You know, we started practice with rubber already on the racetrack from the Xfinity cars and peeled it right up and sawed the tires right off. So, yeah, confusing why we're doing it again when we didn't do it in the fall. I don't think the weather, I mean, obviously it's really cold today, but I don't know. It's going to be warmer tomorrow. Maybe that changes it. It's really difficult to say. Like, I think it's going to be like that, but we're going to find out together, I think.
What did you see as the key on your qualifying lap? Was it going out early and having the cooler conditions, or something you found on track?
Honestly, it really wasn't the best lap for me. I kind of overslowed entry to 3, I thought. So, yeah, just probably going out early. Typically, this place trends that the later cars are faster. But, you know, obviously today's scenario with the tires are vastly different than what the racetrack's doing. So, yeah, hard to say. Certainly was watching the clouds there at the end. There was some big clouds coming, and the 24 and the 11, guys like that going at the very end. I knew they were going to be good. So, yeah, happy that it held on.
Tanner Marler, frontstretch.com. Alex, you said it's a little bit of deja vu towards last spring. There are a lot of new guys in this field. Jesse Love, for instance, making his first start. What is the conversation to a guy like that who, one, hasn't been in a Cup car at this level on this track before, and two, has to deal with these tire wear issues?
Yeah, so I think we're all much more prepared than we were last spring. Like, we all saw it in practice last spring, and we're like, it won't be that way. Like, we see that in practice at a lot of places, you know, Martinsville, Dover, a lot of places you cord tires really quickly and then it goes away in the race. So, obviously we found out quickly during the race that it wasn't going to be that way. But, you know, a guy like Jesse that hasn't run a Cup car before, I feel like the Xfinity car has way more tire fall off anyway. And you have to be way more mindful of how you build the tires up on those cars. So I think he'll be fine. Sure, he watched the spring race, as did everybody last year. So, yeah, I mean, I think everybody knows how to approach it now and is going to try to manage the tires the best they can. I was happy with my car and how it held on to tires in practice. So, excited for having a shot at it tomorrow.
Go to Dustin next.
Dustin Long, NBC Sports. Can you give me a sense of what you as a driver have to do in terms of managing the tires for this race potentially tomorrow compared to what you would have had, what you did in the car last fall when you didn't have to worry about it? What more are we going to see you guys do, or can you give us a sense of what more you're going to have to do inside the car that we can't see?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like in the spring last year, we rode around at what felt like half speed all day, and I thought I was going to get out of the car and everybody was going to be mad because we didn't run hard all day, and everybody loved it because there was so much chaos. So in the fall, we just ran hard all day. You run hard every lap, and that's kind of what Cup racing has become these days, how hard you have to run the car. There's some places you have to manage, but for the most part, you're 10/10 every lap. You know, I think tomorrow it's going to be it's really going to depend on when the cautions come out and what they do. Like, you look at the end of that spring race, and we didn't get any cautions for a lot of things that could have been cautions probably. But the beginning of the race, we were getting cautions all the time. So there's two ways to predict that, right? If you save too much and you keep getting all these cautions, you're just giving away track position. But if you don't get the cautions and you run too hard, you're killed on that too. So it'll be interesting to see what the mindset is there and what the reality that we live in is tomorrow, as far as what the tires do with it being a little warmer and where we go. So I think it's going to be, the biggest thing is it's going to be a ton of learning on the go, because as much as we all think we know exactly what it's going to do from practice, we probably really don't have a clue, and we're going to have to learn as we go.
And also, can you give me a sense of what do you do between now and tomorrow's race? Is there extra? I know there's always homework to do for any driver, but does it change because of the uncertain or what it's likely to be tomorrow? Or does it make it easier because you say it's learning on the go and, you know, go watch some sports on TV or something tonight?
Yeah, I don't think they ever let us get away with go watch some sports on TV, at least for me. I got to try really hard to run remotely good. But, yeah, I think for me, probably look at the guys that ran really well in the spring and that finished well and how they managed the race. I think, you know, at the end of the race, we were one of them. But throughout the majority of the race, we saved too much and kept getting those cautions. So it'll be interesting to see where that winds up. But yeah, probably look at the guys that were good in the spring, and then if there's not tire wear, you feel like you wasted a couple hours, but we'll see. Yeah.
Any additional questions? Okay, Claire.
Claire B. Lang. So question is, when you have to like find out during the race, what's that like? What is it for the fans like racing when you're having to, do you have to pay more attention? And the guys will be working on the pit box like crazy, but what's it like for you when it's like that?
Yeah, it's, for me, it's fun, I would say. just something different, right? Different than the kind of normal every week run 10/10ths every lap. I feel like it gives drivers more opportunity to play a hand in how your day goes, just based on little things you can do. And sometimes, obviously, you have a car to make those opportunities, and sometimes you don't. So, yeah, I enjoy that side of things. And, yeah, I'm just probably as curious as all you guys are. Like, I don't really have the answer. I'm really curious on how it's going to go. I'd say everybody's going to ride around the first run, and if people start falling off a cliff with tire wear, you know, we'll all know it's coming. And if the tires don't wear out, then we'll just progressively run harder throughout the course of the day.
And Chase Elliott said that last race he felt that it was relentless. He never could let up. When you're having to learn during, and you like that, is that still going to be pretty relentless, or it's just a Sudoku puzzle for you?
Yeah, like I guess I wouldn't have described it that way. I like the spring race to me was a lot of riding around and chilling out and being sad that the caution came out because you've been saving tires for 40 laps. But and then obviously it paid off for us in the end. But yeah, I mean, I thought that was more of a mental game than anything, and just trying to know how to load the race car and feel the car to build it the right direction and to take care of your stuff. Yeah.
We'll go to Lee and then Jordan.
Lee Spencer, Sirius XM NASCAR Radio and CatchFence.com. I talked to Blake, and he basically said you're executing at a very high level right now. He said you spend as much time in the shop as he does, just about. What kind of commitment does it take to excel at the level you guys are performing right now?
Yeah, that's Blake being nice. He's in the shop way more than me. But, yeah, I try to hang out with the guys, you know, a little bit during the week when they don't have me doing anything. You know, when I get some free time. I live pretty close to the shop, so it's easy to take one of the dogs over there and go hang out and sit around the setup plate. But, yeah, I mean, just, you know, trying to be successful. Obviously, you know, we saw that in the playoffs last year that we all bought in and worked really hard and found success, and just trying to keep that going. Obviously, it's been a rough 2 weeks on the 48 team. You know, last week I did not execute at a high level. I drove the race car into the fence at a high rate of speed. But, you know, I think just trying to be better every week and work as hard as it takes to continue to run well. Yeah.
Jordan Bianchi, The Athletic. Some drivers relish having to manage tires in these kind of races where it's on them. Where do you fall on that spectrum?
I love it. I think it's great. I think that really comes from, like, when I first came to stock car racing, running the E Series. You know, you ran the same tire for the whole race, and the very first race was Greenville Pickens, and we rolled around in 24th all day. and then drove through the field like it was nobody's business at the end, and almost won the thing. I think we ended up second or third. So from then on, I love tire management. I think it's fun. It's a fun mental game to play, and yeah, hopefully you're on the good side of it. You don't always get it right, but I do enjoy it.
What is the art of saving tires?
I mean, I guess I just drive slower than everybody, and you know, I do that most weeks, but on weeks like this, it pays off. I don't know. We'll see tomorrow. I think it's interesting, like when guys cord their tires and which tire they cord and how that makes them fall off. It's interesting how the progression goes. So just trying to probably cord the correct tire and manage your builds and yeah, save your stuff as long as you can. I wasn't in the front of the field much in the spring until the end, and those guys, it was kind of funny how like one guy would go lead and start to slow down, and another guy would go lead. Like nobody wanted to lead and set the pace. So we'll see how it goes. Yeah.
Any final questions for Alex? All right, Alex, congratulations and good luck tomorrow.
Thanks, guys.